Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about unit rates and unit prices. So, there is a difference between unit rates and unit prices. So, a unit price would be if I'm paying, let's see, like $10.99 for a 6 pack of soda, and then I have another 6 pack of soda or a 12 pack of soda that costs $18.99. The only real way to compare the prices is if you find out how much it is per can or per ounce, something like that. Now with a unit rate, let's say that a recipe requires 8 eggs to make 2 pancakes. Well, based off of that, I can find out how many eggs I'll need for 24 pancakes. All right. So there is a bit of a difference. Considering that this topic is mostly word problems anyway, we're gonna kind of skip over the real world application because honestly, this whole section is a real world application. So I hope you find it useful. Make sure you subscribe below, like the video if you find it useful, and leave a comment too. Thanks. All right, let's take a look at our first one here. So we'll read through. The steakhouse serves a 24-ounce sirloin steak that has a total of 1,800 calories. So that's a lot of calories, and a lot of steak too. How many calories per ounce does the steak have? All right, well, in this section, the majority of our problems are going to be multiplying or dividing. In this case here for our lesson, it's really gonna stick with division. All right. So labels go a long way. I tell the kids that all the time. Labels will help you a lot in this section. So calories per ounce. So we have calories on top, and we're trying to find out how much it is per ounce. So then we go back, right? 1,800 calories, 24 ounces of steak. Our goal is to have this bottom number become a 1 and then figure out what's going on here. All right, so we know that fractions are also showing us division. So we'll take the top number, which is 1,800, divide it by 24. All right, I want to do this expeditiously for you here. And what ends up happening is that 24 goes into 1,800 75 times. All right, so that tells us that we have 75 calories per ounce. You gotta have a label here, otherwise most teachers are gonna mark that wrong, so be careful. All right, this is an interesting one too. All right, so we have Joe stuffs 228 envelopes in an hour. What is the average number of envelopes Joe stuffs per minute? So once again, with our labels, we have envelopes on top, all right, and how much he does that per minute. This is where you gotta be careful. But we know he's doing 228 envelopes. Right, but this is saying that's in an hour. So we're not going to divide by 1. We don't want to do that because I don't know anyone that can stuff 220 envelopes in a minute that fast. All right, that's pretty quick. So what we will use is 60. All right, because we know that there's 60 seconds in a minute or 60 minutes in an hour. So we have 1 here, right? And then when we do the division, remember, a bottom goes on the outside, top number goes on the inside. We end up getting 3.8. All right, so 3.8, and that's envelopes per minute. Here's where you got to be careful though. So anytime you're talking about something like envelopes per minute, how many kids can we get on a per bus? You're not going to have half a kid, half an envelope. So you're always going to round up, always. So if you got 3.1, you're still going to round up. You want to have more. So we can say 3.8, which is an approximation of 4 envelopes per minute. All right, here's another excellent question for kids. All right, it says Jerry runs 600 yards in 2 minutes 5 seconds. What is his average speed? So we're saying yards per, well, here's the issue. We have minutes and seconds. All right, so it's much easier to convert the larger unit of measure to something smaller than something smaller to larger. So we're going to break that down into seconds. All right, so we have a good starting point. No pun intended. So 600, 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Well, we know that there's 60 seconds in a minute. We got 2 minutes. That's 120 plus the 5. All right, so we got 125. Our goal is to have 1 on the bottom here. All right, let's see what our missing number is going to be. And it is okay if we get a decimal of some sort. So we end up getting 4.8, which is 4.8 yards per second. right? These are the types of questions I love because this is a real world application here, financial literacy at its best. So we have two prices here. It could be any type of item. Let's say it's like shampoo or something like that. They're asking us what is the better buy. Now, someone that's never dealt with consumerism or anything like that might say, oh, right off the bat, 648's got to be better because it's cheaper. But what we have to do is find out what it is per price. So if we look at both of these, we know that we're going to divide, right? Because it's set up as a division problem already. But when dealing with unit price, which is what we're looking at here, you always take the price, right, even if it's smaller, and put it on the inside of the division house, right? 648, 816, and divide by the quantity, right? In this case, it's ounces. So after we do all that division, we find that this is 18 cents per ounce, and this is actually 17 cents per ounce. So we can say that this one is the better buy because it's cheaper. Now, there are cases when you're not looking at the smaller number. An example of that would be, oh, I'm comparing how much I would get paid per hour at this job versus that job. So obviously you're going to want the higher number. Or something like when you're shopping for a car, what has better gas miles per gallon, all right? That in that case, you're going to want something that has a higher number. So don't always think that it's the smaller of the two numbers. All right, everybody, that concludes our lesson on unit rates and unit prices. I hope it was helpful for you. So as I said before, the key is division in most cases, all right? Throughout this whole section, it's not always going to be division. We will go back and do some multiplication. But as you can see, this is something that you're definitely going to use in everyday life, especially when it comes to financial literacy and consumerism. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Please leave a comment with any videos that you would like me to do. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.